Hey, it's not summer until you've canned your first green beans. So I've got everything set up. It'll just take a few hours, including the cool-off time. Got my beans all popped by Jerry. Put 8 cups or 2 quarts of water in the Nesco canner. And that's all I need to do. My jars are washed, the beans are washed. I'll just fill up those pint jars. 2 pounds of green beans did 5 pint jars, and my Nesco canner holds 5 pints. I use the wide mouth, so that worked out perfectly for me. So I've got these all gathered up, ready. I'll just speed up that process. You can see I'm kind of stuffing them down. The little green beans are, you just kind of have to squish till you can get a full jar, because they will loosen up a little bit when they soften and can. So now I've got my 5 jars ready. Now the recipe that I use to can them, I dice up an onion and put maybe a 1/4 pound, several tablespoons of diced onion into each of the jars. And along with that, the liquid that I put into the green beans is chicken broth. Now, I don't put salt in my green beans. My husband has to eat a low-salt diet, and I guess it's better for us not to eat too much salt, so that's what I use. We've gotten this recipe from let's see, it's called Texas Roadhouse here in this area. They do green beans that are so good to serve with your steak. And we asked for the recipe one time, and they said they just used green beans with onion and chicken broth. That's how they're cooked. So that's what I do. I get one of these quart cardboard boxes of the chicken broth, and of course mine's the unsalted. You can use salt, the salted version, if that's what works for you. But for these 5 pint jars, the 1 quart, after it's displaced for the volume of the green beans, the 1 quart box does almost everything. And for me, in hindsight, when I was just a few inches short, I should have just gone ahead and filled the rest of that with water, but I didn't. I opened up another box of it and just topped it off. But this makes a really good flavor for the green beans. If you don't like too much of the broth in them when you warm them up to eat, then you can, either boil them a little bit to boil it off, or just drain it off a little bit. But it does make a good flavored green beans. Now if you don't, that's up to you. You could use just plain water and the salt, or any spices you want to use. Now of course, with green beans, you've got to make sure there aren't any little gaps here and there. You make your 1-inch space at the top, but poke your little poking green thing down into the jar. I'm filming with one hand and trying to do it with the other. Sorry, got a tripod in order that I could put my phone over the cabinet. That's going to make it easier for the next time I do a cooking video. But get those all jammed in there, and then I didn't film the part where I rimmed it with the vinegar, but then you screw the lids on, you're good. And then, since we're working with cool jars, nothing is hot in them, you have the cool water poured into there, or tap water, so you can just start by just putting everything in. And all's left is to close the lid, and of course, twist it over to the close edge. Make sure your little shuttlecock on the top is to the side. It points to the front when it's sealed, to the side when it's to exhaust. And then the rest is just pressing the start button, the high button there, setting your time, and then wait. It'll do it all by itself. E10 all the way down to 1. It beeps and tells you that it's done. And then you go in there and put the little shuttlecock pointing to the front. After 75 minutes of that, you're really done. So once you set the 75 minutes, you're finished with it, because it'll turn off, cool off on its own. When you're ready to open it, just hit that little shuttlecock a couple times. Make sure it's not going tss, tss, and then you're ready to open. Do it slowly just in case. Stand back when you open it because it stays hot for a long, long time. And you're done. Now you can go to bed, leave it set like that for several more hours, or go ahead and remove them. I usually have a pad ready. I use my skinny tongs to get the first jar out because it's hard to get the big tongs down in there for the first jar with these wide mouths. But then once I have the first jar out, I can just kind of rearrange a little bit, then go get my regular wide mouth lifters, these things, and then I could get it down in there. Just be sure to get a really good grip on it. Pull them out. They are boiling hot. Move them carefully. Don't plant on a spot that's far away from your canner. Be safe. And then when they're all out, everything's done. Look at that. It's wonderful. Your canner can sit there until it's stone cold and ready to just rinse that pot, clean, and put away. Or if you've got more beans, go ahead and can some more. Every 5 jars, there's another meal for us. We just need the 2 servings. But now I feel like it's summer. I just dry the tops real gently to get the water off of them, because they will, with the air temperatures, they will ping and seal right away. Remove your jar lids, mark the date, and you're good. Now we're ready for fall.